I'm Ollie Kenchington and I run two businesses. I run a film production company called Korro Films, which specialises in corporate film productions, a little bit of documentary work, and through that I act as a colourist. I colour grade music videos, dramas, short films, and I also run Korro Academy, which is a film school and Blackmagic certified training partner, through which I deliver Blackmagic certified training. So I'm at Wex Photo Video, Whitechapel in London, and I'm doing a presentation about the Canon C200 and looking about all facets of the camera, why I like it, why I choose to use it, and I'm particularly interested in showing people sort of under the hood a little bit. So I'm shooting some MP4 and looking at it in DaVinci Resolve and looking at it on the vector scope and talking about why the colours are so close to ideal, and talking about raw light, which is a big feature of the C200 as well. Talking about what I do with that, how it unlocks things like HDR. So we're doing a little bit of sort of HDR demo with Canon's HDR panels, and taking a lot of questions as well. So I've just finished about 45 minutes ago and we've just finished answering questions. There's loads of really good questions from the audience. As a production company, we owned our own FS5. We bought that because it seemed to be a good camera. It kind of fit the bill for most of our corporate production work, and then we relied on hiring in higher quality cameras for specific jobs where we needed higher quality codecs or workflows dictated that we needed it. So, you know, we were literally we'd hire in a Red one week and then we might have an ARRI next week, and you know, as a production company we work with a whole range of cameras, but we chose to invest our own money in a camera that would kind of fit in for most corporate work, and we went with the FS5. Before that I had been using a lot of Canons, been using a lot of C300, C100, going back even further than that, and certainly from a stills point of view I've owned 5D Mark IIIs, I think I owned a 60 for like a week, going way back to, you know, the early days of Canon, you know, digital SLRs, to be honest. For me, I kind of moved away from Canon because it suited what I thought was a need that only that camera kind of addressed, the FS5 in this case. But when the C200 came out, I immediately noticed the benefits that was going to bring us, and the big thing for me was the image quality. So I had been kind of seduced, if you like, by the high frame rates and the flexibility of situations the FS5 would allow me to shoot in. What became obvious after a couple of years of using that camera was that the weaknesses in the actual image quality, so particularly noise in the shadows and, you know, what I could and couldn't get away with using S-Log3 in, for example, it was too often a problem on shoots. And as a colorist, you know, when you're pixel peeping this stuff day in, day out, and you're seeing what kind of image quality you're getting from other cameras, it just jumped out at me when we got our hands on the C200. Just, you know, the differences were stark. I could particularly challenging situations in terms of dynamic range. Even in MP4, there's nothing to do with the RAW in the C200. I could just put that camera in that situation and get good results. I could get clean shadows, I could get a really nice, pleasing roll off with the highlights. And I couldn't achieve that with the FS5, and not in a way that would give me something that I was happy with. And I'd hear people say, oh, you have to overexpose it to clean up the noise, or you have to crush the blacks in post to get rid of them. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to sacrifice my image because of weaknesses in the camera or weaknesses of the sensor or whatever it might be. And the C200 kind of changed that for me. It suddenly was a camera that I didn't have to work around its weaknesses. I could just work with the camera. I didn't have to keep overexposing to deal with the fact that the shadows were noisy. I didn't have to avoid using Canon Log 3 because it would make things kind of fall to pieces at the bottom end. I could just use the camera and get great stuff. And that was before I even started to play around with RAW. As soon as you open up the RAW box of tools, it's kind of, you know, again, from a colouring point of view, you can push it so far, and it's opened up HDR, so we've started delivering stuff for certain clients in HDR. Yeah, for me, the C200 was a big turning point. Wex offer a whole series of different events, just like the one I'm delivering for them today. I believe if you go to wex.co.uk, you can find out other ones that might suit you.